The Tie and Hoodie Show is sponsored by ICCLending.com. For real estate service, please go to ICCLending.com.
3, 2, 1.
Every human came to earth with a gift, and they must discover that gift and refine that gift for them to be fulfilled.
The prerequisite for spending time with any person is that they nourish and inspire you. They feed your flame.
Yo, hey man, how you work this radio?
You're not listening to the Tie and Hoodie Show.
Keep it locked.
Owning a home and paying it off is one of the data points of an everyday millionaire.
Home sales across the U.S. are on the rise as buyers take advantage of record low mortgage rates.
Good morning. Now let's get back to the Tie and Hoodie Show.
Good morning. 93.5 K-Day listeners. It's the Tie and Hoodie Show each and every Sunday morning right here, 6:30 to 7 a.m. It's definitely our pleasure to, start off the morning weekday with some positive motivation for today and the week. I'm your host, Trevon Smith, also known as Trey. And this is my host, my main man, Mr. Andrew or Jesse Coble. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, Trevon, doing good. It's another Sunday morning.
Always a pleasure.
Still zooming in, right? We're still doing Zoom,
Zoom is the new normal.
For now, I miss sitting next to you, talking and.
I think this is the way the world's going to become. Keep a lot of people out the offices, the brick and mortars. That's just my opinion. But today's guest.
Keep us together, but still away, right? As much as we can. Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Today's guest is another exciting moment for our K-Day listeners, our YouTube series people to stay tuned. We always put all our YouTubes up because people go back and study the information and go back and hit up all our interviewees. This guy right here has a story to tell. He has a testimony to tell. It's something I'm very much interested in listening to. I've went through the website. I caught myself. I actually read the whole website. So, but I'm at that stage in my life now where I'm trying to get as much information as I can. And this is why, I enjoy doing this show on Sunday morning, but it's the one and only Mr. Steve Belmont. I like that.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Trayvon. Thank you. Hey, so I appreciate the introduction. I've been checking out your guys' show. It's awesome. Sir. Definitely a privilege to be on here. Thank you.
No, absolutely. Welcome. I follow you on Facebook. I see all the awesome videos, all the updates. You're the real life series of Flip This House or all the beauty they show on TV, on HGTV. You're the real life aspect of that, because on HGTV, they don't tell people all the craziness that happens with your business. So first of all, let's jump into it. Tell us who you are, what you do, and let's jump into that real quick.
Right on. So I'm Bo Belmont. I am the founder and CEO of Bellwood Investments, also Bellwood University, and the Big real estate team. Big is Bellwood Investment Group. We also have 2 hedge funds that we just started that coincide with our investment model. So we're all up in the real estate investment game.
So for somebody that may be listening, and myself is getting into real estate, you got into real estate, so people may understand that, hey, this guy, he already has money or whatnot, or already has it established. Give the testimony if you don't mind. I'm a fan of testimonies. Just talk a little bit about what you've been through and what you had to overcome to get where you're at now.
Sure. So let's go back to 2000. I was in the mortgage industry and I was a loan officer, just hustling, grinding, fresh out of college. And then 2007 came around and the market took a crash, right? I was in subprime lending and then I was without a job. Okay. And so I heard about people flipping houses and I really wanted to get into it. Right. And so I was able to make a few connections, borrow some funds and seek out some private money lending. Right. And all of this is accessible. Anybody can access these types of resources. Right. Your listeners can, I can, you can, everybody can. And so I did that. Right. I found a property that made sense. And I did my first 3 completely by myself. And what I mean by myself, I did the windows, I did the HVAC system, I did the electrical panel. Now, granted, when you flipped on the switch in the living room, the whole house kind of buzzed a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so, but hey, the inspector passed it. I don't know. I mean, he passed it. It was all done right. It just made this weird noise. But anyways, what it taught me was, hey, I know what it takes to flip a house from start to finish. And that way, when I'm getting help from other contractors, they're not going to be able to pull the wool over my eyes and say, you know what, to install that window, it's going to be $500. You know what? I flipped my first 3 houses, sir. I know it's only going to take you an hour to install that window. So you're going to charge me $500 per hour? No, 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 no. Okay. So I did the first 3 by myself, learned what it took to flip houses. And then I got on my way, right? I flipped 1,500 houses. Now, if you guys want some testimony, I'll give you some testimony. 2013, I was hit with something that was very, very traumatic to my family and myself, okay? Brought me all the way back down to 0. As a matter of fact, below 0, okay? It was a very traumatic situation for my family, my friends. But you know what? I hit the ground. I hit the ground running. When I was able to get back in the business, I got back into it. I realized that I had resources out there. I might not have had money, but I had the resources and I had the talent and I had the experience, right? I learned so much, okay? So from 2018 to where we are right now, I had 1,000% growth when I started Bellwood Investments. Okay, right now we currently have $30 million in properties that we are currently facilitating, okay? That means basically listing to acquisition to closing. Okay. Now we've closed 400 in the last 52 weeks, 400 homes. Okay. Now 2018 to now, that's a lot of growth. We partnered with Home Depot. We partnered with Genesis Capital. We partnered with Anchor Home Loans. We've partnered with huge lenders out there that are saying, you know what, Bellwood, you're doing something special. We want to be partnered with you. So I went from 0 to hero in 3 years. Anybody can do that. Anybody can do what I've done.
Amazing.
Well, this is really amazing. We have to. I'm always one of those who like to dial things back because, you know, you're packing a lot. When people hear 30 million, 400 houses, let's talk about those people who says, I want to start from where you started. Okay. I want to know what gave you the guts to say, I'm going to buy a house, fix the windows myself, fix the electrical myself. You're not an electrician. You're not, a contractor. What gave you the guts to say, I'm going to do this and make a profit? Everything must have lined up for you on your side for this to happen. This is not the story for everybody in the country, right? So can you dial us back and talk to our listeners?
I'm going to tell you right now, there's nothing that's different from you than from me, than from a contractor, from a loan officer. There's no difference. We can all do the same thing. We can all pound nails. We can all screw in a faceplate. We can all learn these things. Okay. Google and YouTube is what I learned. That's what I learned. That's what I and books, believe it or not. I went to Barnes and Noble. I got a couple contractors books and I learned what it took. Okay. So you have to have the tenacity. You have to have the go get it in you. You can't just sit back and say, well, I don't know. So I'm over it. I'm not going to even try. You got to say, well, if that human being can do it, well, then I can do it myself.
Yeah.
That dude is not smarter than I am. Sure, he's been swinging a hammer for the last 20 years. But I mean, last time I checked, you didn't need to have a degree to swing a hammer.
Tell him, Mr. Belmont, come on.
You didn't have to. So what I said was, hey, if he can do it, I can do it. And if he can do it that good, I can do it better. You know why? Because I'm better. I'm stronger. I have what it takes to do that. Okay. Now you have that in yourself. Everybody has that. Whether or not you take advantage of it, it's up to you guys.
It's up to you. See, the beautiful thing about what you're saying from you and the other people that I might, like Evan Carmichael and people like that I get a chance to Andrew put me up on, is everybody has that go get it in them. You have to have that. It's very important. Like nobody can beg you to want to be successful. Something has to click and you have to want to become successful. And for our listeners listening, look, if you don't know what to do, let's talk about the school. Mr. Belmont, if they don't know what to do, can we talk about the school a little bit and maybe something that can...
Yeah, absolutely. So I started Bellwood University to bring real estate investing to everybody. Okay. Whether or not you are working at Jiffy Lube, Walmart, whether or not you're working as a realtor, or you are, working at Cisco networking, whatever it may be, whatever your job is, you can do real estate investing. Okay. Now, let me go back a little bit to why I started the B52 method and why I started Bellwood University. Okay. Now, when I started flipping houses, my friends and family kept coming up to me and say, "Hey, Bo, I want to do what you're doing." And I said, "Well, hey, you got to have a lot of money and you got to have a lot of time, right?" Thankfully, I was able to borrow money and I can teach people how to come up with a transaction with $0. Okay. And I can do that through Bellwood University. It's all based on the property. But let me go back. I had people coming up to me say, "Bo, I want to be a part of this." And you know what I'd say? "Okay, you know what? You need to come in with some money, the money that would cost me to do this, okay? Because you don't have the time or all the funds. So I'm going to come in with the majority of the funds. You come in with a little bit. I'll use all my experience, okay? I'll use all of my expertise, my contractors, everything. And at the end of the day, we'll split the profits 50-50, okay? Well, that caught fire, okay? And what you guys are seeing online with the B52 method, that's what caught fire, and that's what started the B52 method. But then I had people coming up to me and said, "Well, I don't even have a little bit of money. I don't even have a little bit." So I said, "Well, I got to create something to bring it to absolutely everybody, even those with $0. And that's what Bellwood University teaches you, okay? It teaches you to find the product, okay? Because you could say, "I want to get in real estate. I want to do this. I want to do that." But until you actually find the house, the inventory, the product, you don't have anything. So you got to learn how to find it. You got to learn to what to look for, right? You got to know the parameters, the location, geography, everything, all the logistics. Once you have that down, then you can start working on something. Then you could find somebody like me or somebody who's in the game, say, "I found this property. I got this unique opportunity. I want to be a part of it." There's enough skin on the bone, enough meat on the bone, then you can participate in flipping houses with zero money out of pocket. And that's what the Bellwood University teaches you, is how to find those properties and how to bring them in front of someone like me. Heck, we even have an application on the Apple Store, Bellwood Agent. You don't have to be a real estate agent to buy and sell real estate in the United States with Bellwood Investments. You could be walking down the street, find a house, submit it to us, and you're going to get paid commission if we buy that property. We're going to find out who the owner is. And if we buy that property, you're just going to get a check in the mail.
I've seen that. I forgot to bring that up. I did see that. And that's a beautiful program that you have for people.
Well, I mean, you see, again, this is all real to us because Trevon and I have been down the road. Like you said, we've been below zero. And we have to say, okay, you know what? We can't stay at below zero. We got to come up. There's a reason why we're doing this show. There's a reason why KD is giving us this platform to do this show. And people who are listening right now, a lot of people who are, just getting out of work or going to work and saying, "You know what, I hate my 9-to-5 job. I'm only making 50. You didn't mention money much. You didn't mention credit. You didn't mention, you can just be interested in looking at properties. Get off your ass, okay? Excuse my language. Get off your ass, okay? Get out there and look at properties. You're walking down the street, you see a property, you're like, "Well, it seems like nobody's living in here. Let me figure out what's going on." And you will help them get all of the information they need, and they get a check if that thing goes through.
Absolutely. So I'm going to give you an example right now. With Bellwood Investments, if you submit 10 properties and we buy 10 properties, you are going to make enough money to do your first Bellwood flip. So with $0, you start you download the Bellwood app, you start finding houses, right? You start finding houses, you save that money. You don't go spend that money, you save that money, because you know how long it takes to find a house? Not very long. You're walking your dog. You see, oh, this lawn is overgrown. The windows are broken. The roof's got a big old hole in it, right? You take a picture of it, upload the information. We find them, we buy that house. You do that 9 more times. You will have enough money to do the B52 method, flip a property and get half the profits. Okay, it's been done before. I'm going to tell you right now, if I have a single mother of 4 who downloads the app and makes about $10,000 a month, I don't see why your listeners can't do the same thing. She's a stay-at-home mother of 4. She does yoga and Bellwood Investments, makes about 10 G's a month.
Well, Okay. Go ahead, Trevor. Go ahead.
How about that? Let's give the website. Can we give the website, Mr. Belmont?
Absolutely. It's BellwoodInvestments.com. Bellwood Investments, Bellwood with one L.
Definitely. We definitely want our listeners to go ahead and check this out, because the whole our whole priority of this show is to open people's eyes, because a lot of people get caught in that entrapment, thinking that, hey, there's no way out. And I've personally seen a way out myself. I'm not saying I was at the bottom of the barrel, but I was working a 9-to-5 and I was dependent on my check every 2 weeks, and I got involved in real estate. And I'm telling you, hey, listeners, it is possible. You have to have the tenacity, like Bo said. You have to have the go get it. But I see a lot of this tenacity. A little background about him. He plays football. I could tell about, I could tell by your energy that you're a sports guy. So I did want to talk a little bit about when you said you were like you and your family went through something. I want to just go for a couple minutes. If you could talk about what drove you out of that. What did you find out about yourself as far as character that made you climb out that hole?
Absolutely. So one doesn't know what true growth is and what the top looks like unless they know what the bottom looks like. Okay. And you don't understand, or you might, but I didn't understand what it was like to be without options.
Okay.
To be told you can't, to be told you won't, to be told it's impossible, to be told that you're done. Okay. Now, if you start believing that trash, right, then you're done. Okay. Don't even try. Go find another 9-to-5 and stick with it. But what I learned from ground zero, okay, is that there's only one way for me to go from here. And being on that ground level is not where I like to be. It wasn't my thing. Okay. I know what it's like. I can appreciate the bottom for what it is. Okay. I respect it. And I understand I don't ever want to be there again. Okay. I'm afraid of it. So what do? I run from it. I run from the bottom as fast as I possibly can. I use the resources that I have at my disposal to ensure success. Okay. Because the only one stopping me, or the only one bringing me back down to that ground level, is myself. The only one bringing me up is also myself. Okay. What do you want to do? So at that ground level, I made that decision. Hey, I will never be in this situation again. I have so many tools at my disposal. I have the same tools as all of your listeners: a cell phone, a voice, 2 hands, and a brain. Okay. That's all you need to make money in real estate. You just have to apply it correctly. Okay. That's what I realized when I was at the bottom level is, hey, I never want to be here again. And I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can to be at the complete opposite end of this. And that's what I'm doing.
Hey, listeners, I'm sure you guys are listening. Mr. Belwood is here in the house. I've said this on the show several times. I slept in my car. I emigrated here from Nigeria with $20 in my pocket, went to college on a track scholarship, lucky enough, and I found out one day out of nowhere, I'm homeless and I'm sleeping in my car. And I'm like, I'm in America. What's going on here? I'm in America. I'm sleeping in my car. I felt sorry for myself. I felt pity for myself. I had to encourage and tell myself and kick myself in the ass and say, get up and get out and go out and do something. Somebody needs your value. But it didn't happen overnight, because when people are hearing all of this, when people see you now, you're flipping 400 homes, they don't understand. I've seen some of your videos where a squatter was squatting in one of your houses and it cost you an arm and a leg, and they don't see all the monies you lost. That's what I want us to focus. Let our audience understand that how much hard work does it take to encourage yourself and put in to get things to make happen?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you had touched on it earlier. Folks are watching HGTV saying, oh man, look at how pretty that is. They don't tell you about the trials and tribulations of that property and what happened, right? And so, sure, in this industry, you get dealt blows, right? But it's how you take it and it's how you counter, right? And so, yeah, we had a squatter. We've had many squatters, okay? And We deal with them how we follow the law, and we just say, you know what, these types of things are going to happen in this industry. It's just going to happen. Okay, we can do what we can to prevent it from happening in the future, but ultimately there's going to be risks involved with anything. If you're an entrepreneur, you're going to encounter problems. You're going to encounter pitfalls. Okay, it's how you rebound. It's how you take the hit and you come back. Yeah. And so, yeah, you saw that squatter on Delma Way. It was the worst situation. But you know what? Because I've done this for such a long time, I plan for the worst, right? I plan for the worst, hope for the best, right? I'm like, you know what? This thing could go wrong. This could go wrong. This could go wrong. And for those reasons, I need that much more margin in this purchase price to account for those. At the end of the day, that investor still made 20% on his money. Took a year, but he still made 20% on his money. You know what he did? He reinvested right back into Bellwood Investments. Because we kept a look, you know, we look out for those types of situations. We don't want it to happen, but we make sure that, you know what, there's a little extra room on the bone just in case.
Mr. Belmont, just sitting here and watching you, man, I'm becoming a fan of you. Just your energy and the knowledge of what you're doing. I want to know, like, there's a two-part question. I want to know, what's 3 habits Mr. Belmont has that he would like to share? You know, just 3 habits that you have that, you know, like, hey, this is what I do every day, or I do more times than not. And what is it that you want to see from yourself? What are you? Because it seems like if the people are listening, like, oh, he must have it made. He has everything. But I know deep in that brain, it's like you claw at night. You know, like you probably have sleepless nights because you still want more. So talk to me a little bit about what's the habits that you have that you go into your day with, or possibly your week, and what's some things that Mr. Belmont wants, you know, 2021, like, hey, I haven't reached close to my goals yet, and I'm working on this.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So 3 habits that I have consistently are basically routine habits, right? I get up, I do hot yoga. Don't laugh at me. Okay. I did college football, basketball, baseball, not college, but in high school. And I tore up my body. I found hot yoga not that long ago. I'm telling you, it's badass. Okay. It's badass. It really, really kicks your butt. So I've been doing that every single day. Okay. It's really gotten me in a routine. Next thing I do is meditate, right? I meditate every single day. In whatever form you want to do, if you're laying in bed or if you're sitting up, if you're in the bathroom, wherever you are, you need to have that time to sit there and clear everything out. Okay. That's huge. And the next thing is becoming a visionary. Every single day, I'm trying to think of how I can better my company, who I can partner with, how we can grow this. So with those 3 things, I have growth, right? I have a routine and I have that vision. You got to have that vision. Okay. You can't get caught up in the everyday thing, right? You can't get caught up in just closing deals. Yeah. You can't just get caught up, because then that's all we're doing. You have to look forward. Okay. How can we make this the next best thing? Bellwood Investments will be the biggest and best real estate investment company in the world. Okay. So every single day, I'm finding ways to make that happen. Okay. Every single day. Yeah. Now, what was the second part of your question?
Just a second. I think you answered that with will be the biggest and best part. What's some things you're working on for 2021 that I know? Because some people may listen and be like, oh, he hasn't made, but I know your kind of people. I know how you think. You want more. You have to have more. And you know, and you're driving for more.
I have to have it more. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I drive a reasonable car. I live in a reasonable home. Could I do more? Absolutely. But you know what? Then I would be taking away from my company. Okay. Yeah. I live very modestly. And the reason why is because I take everything I get and I put it right back in the company to ensure growth. Okay. Yeah. Looking out at 2021, what do we see? Well, we're already in Maine, we're in Florida, we're in Texas, we're in Washington, we're in Oregon, we're in Arizona, California, and everywhere in between. Okay. My goal was to be in 27 states. By June, we're already there. Okay. The pandemic slowed us down for a little bit, but that was just a little bit. We're skyrocketing. We're going up. We're a rocket ship. Okay. So by the end of 2021, I fully expect to have our next application set up for our investors. That means people are able to basically invest sitting on their couch. Okay. Now the B52 system, I would encourage you guys, your listeners, to go online, go on YouTube and check out the B52 system, Bellwood Investments. But just to give you an idea how we're making real estate investing available for everybody, check this out. So we have a property. Now, according to the B52 method, our investors are getting 50% of the profit for 20% of the investment. 52, right? 50 for 20. Now, when we're buying a property for $60,000, okay, in South Carolina, and we're putting about $20,000 into it, that makes our total package $80,000, okay? Our investors are coming in with 20% of that, so $16,000, up to 20%. So that's 16 grand. Now, what we're doing right now is we're able to split that $16,000 between 10 to 20 people. So now we're bringing real estate investing to everybody. Less than $1,000, you're able to flip a home, and it's secured as a deed of trust on the property. You're never writing a check to Bellwood Investments. There's no worry about writing a check to a title or to investment company, praying that they don't steal your money and that they're not on American greed, right? We don't want that. So what we decided to do was make a completely transparent method of investing that added a huge level of security, and that's where that deed of trust comes in. So now we have people at the end of 21 that are going to be able to invest in real property with as little as $1,000. And you know what? And our average right now, guys, 30% on your money in less than 100 days. 30%. Those are factual numbers. Those aren't fake. We just had one last week at 59% return. Week before that, 46% return. Okay? These numbers are factual. Look us up. All real.
Well, these are not fake. You know, they're not fake because I'm a mortgage broker. I've been a mortgage broker over 7 years. I've been in the mortgage business for about 20 years. I'm also a real estate broker. I don't do real estate, but I know these are not fake. We don't bring any fake guests in on this show. Because our listeners are, you know, predominantly in the Los Angeles, you know, San Bernardino, Orange County area. We bring value and quality to this show because there's a lot of people who are up or who go to YouTube and watch our show and say, hey, you know, and they call us up. I saw this on your YouTube channel. Connect me to this guy. Connect me to this guy. I know, you know, we've studied you. We know what you're doing. I mean, but what's important that I need people to understand what you're bringing to the table is you don't need 20% down to invest in real estate.
Nope.
That is the key word.
Just the opportunity.
The opportunity. Opportunity is available for everybody. You know, you could have $1,000 and you could invest in real estate. Start small. Now, are you going to make $100,000 from investing $1,000? No, that's not going to happen.
Make $300 on top of your $1,000.
Yeah.
We're not going to get that in a short period of time.
That's a plus.
Legally.
So, right? That's a plus. You know, 30%, that's huge. You know,
massive. And that's our average.
Yeah.
Guys, I mean, we're getting much greater than that. Yeah. Our lowest return in the last 3 years, our lowest return was 5% in 60 days. That was our lowest return. And we only had one of those. Our next lowest return was 15%.
Look,
and that's a return. It's a return. It's not a deficit. It's not a loss.
Never lost
it's a return.
Not lost $1.
Look, Mr. Belmont, it's definitely a pleasure. I mean, I can't wait to talk to you again. I'm not sure if all our K-Day listeners may understood everything that went on. I did because I'm on YouTube and I read my books. But that's what other people have to do. That's what we're trying to get our listeners to do. We appreciate your time. Can you go ahead and give them the website again so everybody can?
Is there a phone number we can give out, Trevon? Is there a phone number you want people to call if they're interested? A phone number?
Absolutely. So if you want to go ahead and call the office and just reach us directly, dial 916-990-3010. Again, 916-990-3010. Hit us up on social media, Bellwood Investments, the big companies, BIG, that's Bellwood Investment Group. And then also check out our website at www.bellwoodinvestments.com, www.bellwoodinvestments.com. And that's Bellwood with 1 L.
Mr. Belmont, it was a pleasure. I appreciate your time. I appreciate the knowledge. You dropped a lot of knowledge in 30 minutes. Like I was sitting here trying to take mental notes, but that's a great thing. That's a great thing.
We have to do a part 2. Hopefully in the next month or next couple months, we're going to want you to come back And what I think we should do for our listeners is just break down your testimonies, like the lady, single mom who's at home, 4 kids, making $10,000 a month. This is not a fluke, guys. Listeners, this is real. It's happening every day. You just have to take action. Can you give out that number again, if you don't mind, real quick, please?
Yep, 916-990-3010, BellwoodInvestments.com, BELWOOD investments.com. Don't hesitate to reach out. I went from flipping a $150,000 house from ground zero, my first property. I just bought a $3 million house last week, okay? Just bought a $3 million house, resale on that one's $5 million.
Hey, go to the school, get the information. We appreciate all our listeners. Go check him out, Mr. Belmont. We'll have the information posted as well. Please do not be afraid to change. Start your growth now. It's never too late. You got to stop blaming somebody at some time. We'll see everybody next week, every Sunday morning, 6:30 to 7 a.m. Once again, Mr. Belmont, salute. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
All right, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Take care.
Hey, do you have valuable information that can help your community?
Okay.
And you'd like to be a guest? Hit us on our social media.
Do it now.
The Tie and Hoodie Show is sponsored by ICCLending.com. For real estate service, please go to ICCLending.com.